I am not going to be muted for this live stream. That is something that I have done a couple times, but I'm starting strong. See the audio levels. Give me a hello. Let me know in the chat if you are tuning in and watching. Look, I wanted to do this live stream. I almost didn't do this live stream because it's a little bit personal and it's vulnerable. And I've heard from so many of you that you want more of that. You want to see what's actually going on behind the scenes because you may not know that I've been on this really intense content generation streak. One live a week and two long form videos every single week in 2026. I have not missed an upload or a live stream since I started. And it wasn't always like this because if I pull back the curtain, which I want to do in this live stream, I want to just be honest with you about what it's been like since I started this system and why I had to start this system of really being organized with posting in order to grow. And so, in order to do that, and as we're going through this, I'm just going to pull up the live stream studio here so that we can interact because this is very much meant to be an interactive event. And I'm very, very excited to have you guys here and really to talk honestly about what it's like to be a business owner and someone who creates content, not just to create content, not to be an influencer, not to try and like just grow your numbers just for the sake of some vanity metrics, but really to um, grow a business, get some clients, or maybe not clients. Maybe you're selling a digital product, you're selling a service, you're trying to get people to notice, discover you on a platform, get really into what you're saying, become fans, interact with you, and ultimately go off the platform because they want to go deeper. They want to work with you. And so, if that's you, if that's something that you really want out of being on this platform and you've been struggling or you've been inconsistent or you've been wondering, how do you get like video ideas and pull this out and keep going again and again and again? I want to pull back the curtain on the exact system that I've been using to really stay consistent and generate ideas and iterate and also really produce from a place of data, not just, throwing random ideas. Because I think a lot of us approach YouTube as business owners as, okay, here's the different pillars of what we talk about. And these are the kinds of things my clients want to know about or that I offer. And then you just go to town and start creating content on that. The problem with that approach is that that's not always aligned to create the demand and desire for the people to get off the platform and go deeper with you, for people to really look to you for leadership, thought leadership, for you to become a personal brand, which in 2026 is absolutely critical. I've been getting tons and tons of comments through this journey on YouTube in 2026 specifically, and I love it because I am hearing a very consistent theme from the audience here, which is AI is great. We're sick of it. We're tired of the cliches. We're tired of the slop. I've even had pushback about the fact that I've been talking about AI on this channel because for some people, that's not what they want. They want to be authentic. I come at AI from a different perspective. It's about, the tools and what they can do, and I'll talk about how that's helped on this journey. But I want you to know that one of the things that is the most important for consistency is not discipline. And this is the big mistake that I make. I used to think that the reason that I wasn't able to be consistent in my business is because I have an ADHD brain, I'm scattered, I'm not disciplined, I don't have the motivation. Here's the thing. Motivation and discipline, sure, they're very important traits. They don't build businesses. You know what builds a business? And you know what builds a consistent content presence and pipeline? Systems. And systems is something that I've always struggled with as a television reporter because everything was just like deadline, deadline, deadline. I never had organization. I got a story idea. I went out, I had sticky notes, I had notepads, I had things in my head, I had phone calls, I found random people. All of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a clip from you. It was very chaotic. And my brain over the course of those 15 years or so that I was doing that specific job learned that that was how to produce good stories. And my stories were great. I mean, it was watched by millions of people. It programmed in my brain that that's how video production should work. Well, I had a rude awakening when I got to business because I approached content creation as a business owner the same way that I approached content creation as a reporter. You don't even want to see my Google Drive. And let me know in the comments, what does your Google Drive look like? What does your ideation process look like? Do you have like random voice notes, random things on your computer that you have from when you suddenly had an idea? I want to show you my iPad. This is my photo library on my phone, on my iPad. Can anybody relate? Oh my God, how do you create content from that? It's a mess. So tell me in the chat if this is something that you struggle with because a lot of people think the solution is, well, I'm just going to come up with like a 4 week or 60-day content calendar. I hate content calendars. Why? Because especially here on YouTube, and I'm only streaming this to YouTube today. I'm not streaming it to LinkedIn because this is a very YouTube specific live stream. The problem with content calendars is that the game here on YouTube as a business owner is about having the data inform your strategy. And if you're already 4, 6 weeks out with your ideas locked in, you're not responding to the marketplace. You're not responding to the fact that maybe you had a breakout video and you need to double down on that. You need to release something next week that extends or builds on that idea. And so I want to show you in a moment this system that really changed things for me. And I'm not going to give you like the whole thing today because this is actually part of an upcoming summit that I'm going to be presenting at called the Go To Summit. My good friend Adrienne Farrow, who's the everything Google systems girl, is putting on this amazing summit and I'm part of it. And I'm going to be talking about how to stop the file frenzy and the dumpster fire and all that. I will link it below once the sign up is ready. But let me know in the chat if this is something you're interested in. Is your whole organization system as a business owner when it comes to marketing and content a total mess? Because on video specifically, I'm going to be presenting on that. And what I'm about to show you is actually the tool that I'm going to be giving away for free during this summit. So you'll want to tune in and see that. So a couple things before I show you the system that really got me consistent. First of all, it's not populated with my stuff. What I'm showing you right now is just the actual platform. And if some of you have seen my video on the B-roll bank and story bank, I'm going to link that below this live stream as well. If you're watching the replay, you can jump to that video. I'll actually link it right here as well. That is the precursor video to this. So that's where we built our story bank, which is all about the stories that you tell in your content, and your B-roll bank, which is all of the video clips that you accumulate, like that dumpster fire I just showed you, which is my photos app on my phone and on my iPad. That's where you're going to store all that B-roll in a way that is not going to make your brain explode, like mine did pretty much every time I saw what was going on. So we're going to go through that, and I'm just going to organize that here so that you can see what that looks like. Bear with me for a moment while I go into the live stream here. And I'm just going to see, I've got to move my iPad out of the way really fast. You don't want to see my desk because it's pretty crazy. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from, and I'm going to show you this tool. Are you guys ready to see this tool? What do you think? All right. So this is Content HQ, and this is really what I designed because I felt that nothing out there was built for the way that my brain produced content. A lot of people have like a folder for videos, a folder for scripts, a folder for this and that, or they have like a thumbnails on Canva, wherever they produce them, and it's not organized for the way video production actually works. And I think that that is also friction to prevent you from being consistent. And so I built Content HQ to solve that problem for myself. And as I was doing that, I thought, if this is helping me, then it's got to help other people, other business owners on YouTube who really want to be more organized and to have a system where they don't feel like everything is all over the place. Because if your brain feels scattered and chaotic, if you're, you know, area you're shooting and everything feels chaotic, then it's going to be chaotic to produce content and it's not going to be enjoyable. Let me know in the chat, is this resonating? Is this something you're struggling with? How are you feeling about content creation? Are you able to stay consistent with it? Because that's something that I would really, really love to know. Awesomeness. Okay, guys. So, hi, Nikosi. Let me know what your content system looks like because I want to show you mine, but I'm also open to, in this live stream, talk to people who are using a content system that's working for them. Because remember, it's not a one size fits all thing. What I'm showing you is what's working for me and what's working for some of the clients that I've introduced this to. And I'm really excited to share it with you because I think it's going to make a difference. So I'm going to hop into Content HQ and keep the comments coming because I'd love to know if you have any questions as you're looking at it. Like I said, I'm going to have this officially released when the GoTo Summit is coming up in just a couple weeks. So I will give you information on that when it's ready. If you're not already on my email list, then there are some links below in the description of this live stream, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, to connect with me. So if you sign up for any of the freebies, there are ChatGPT things to avoid. There's a pre-filming checklist. There's lots of great goodies over there. And as soon as you sign up for one of those things, you end up on my email list, and then you'll get notified when these things happen. So let's talk about Content HQ, shall we? Hi, watching from Ireland. So nice to see you. Okay, let me know in the chat, how are you producing your content? Are you consistent in your content? Do you want to be consistent in your content? This is Content HQ. I want to show you around. This is a spreadsheet that is designed to function the way that content creation works. So let's start with the content idea part. One of the biggest problems that people have is they have these ideas. I don't know if you're anything like me. I get ideas on the fly. I get ideas when I'm walking my dog. I get ideas when I'm having lunch with my kids. I get ideas when I'm cleaning the bathroom. How do you get your ideas? I'm explaining Content HQ right now, John. It's my organization system for how I consistently create 2 long form videos a week and this live stream. So I'm showing you around how you can adapt something like this to your content workflow, especially if you're a business owner, you're busy, you want to get some consistency going so that you can grow, so that you can attract consistent leads and people who can work with you. And so that's what this is. Does that make sense? Let me know any other questions that you have on this as we go through. For content ideas, I'm finding that it's a snowball. I used to struggle to come up with content ideas sometimes because I felt like it was boring, like I've already talked about that, or, are they going to care about that? But the more content you put out there, the more ideas you get, and you get comments from your audience. That's gold content stuff. Did you know, by the way, that there is a tool inside your YouTube studio? I can show that to you after if you guys want to see it, that will literally tell you what your audience wants to see. It's crazy. I'm going to create a short on this. I just haven't gotten around to it because I've got so much content. So what I do is I actually keep my content ideas in a simple notes app on my phone, because this is a place where I want to put the ideas that I know I'm going to actually action. So step one is really have any kind of way to keep track of ideas in one place. That could be in this spreadsheet or a spreadsheet like this. But remember, not all ideas end up coming to fruition. So you don't want this to become so crowded with things you never intend to do anything with. Just have a place that you brain dump ideas. That way, if you're you know, driving and waiting for your kid, or if you're not driving when you do this, but if you're waiting for your kid outside school and suddenly you have an idea, you can open your notes app, quickly put that in, get it out of your head. And then later, when you set times to go into Content HQ and use your system, then you're not creating from nothing. So the content ideas go here. This doesn't have to be the perfected hook or headline or title of your video or anything like that. It's just, what is the idea, right? So, let's say I'm doing a live stream on how to stay organized with content. Now, that is really rudimentary. Obviously, I gave this a better name. What's the primary platform? This is really important. I always tell clients that you want to make sure that you have one primary platform you're focused on. If you're joining me here on YouTube, that's probably YouTube. Maybe it's not YouTube, but here there's a drop-down menu to make it super easy. I'm going to select YouTube, not Instagram. And let's say I also want to post this on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I want it to go everywhere, right? So we know that the primary platform we're posting this on is YouTube. That already informs how we're going to approach it. For status, I've created a drop down menu here. How do I know where it is in the process, right? So, is it in an ideation stage, a scripting stage? Are we filming it? Is it editing, either me editing it or an editor doing it? Is it ready? Has it been scheduled? And has it been posted? So, this keeps it really organized so you know exactly what is happening with this piece of content at any given time. This works for any platform, guys. It could be anywhere. You only get 10 views per video, 400 videos now. Amazing. Amazing. Let me know, John, in the comments, are you using a system like this to iterate your ideas? Publish date. So when did it go to air, so to speak, right? If it's a long form video, you're going to publish it once. And this is where the organization part comes in. So asset links here are things like your script. I would do that in a Google Doc, and the Google Doc has to be where your script lives. That way, if you want to know where is this piece of content, what did I say in it, the link to it already exists here. Now, there will be more assets for your video, right? Because you create a video, you have the talking head part. If you want to have other videos, other B-roll, that's where the B-roll bank and story bank comes in. Remember that video I told you about? It's a really, really great resource. I recommend, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you haven't watched that, get that video, watch that video, download the B-roll and story bank, and then this will make so much more sense. And I'm also going to link it here. And so over here, this is where you keep track of all of the moving parts that have something to do with this video. So remember that crazy iPhone scrolly thing I showed you? You are going to take the videos off your phone and store them in your Google Drive so that you can access them, so that you know where they're coming from, you know where things live. The amazing thing about this Content HQ is if you're at the point in your business where you can outsource to a video editor, or you have a virtual assistant who's helping you, or someone on your team, it's not in your brain. You can give this to someone else and they can actually help and support you with content creation. Yes, you need a system, John. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me know in the chat, anyone else who's watching, about what your system is. Do you have a system? And is this giving you a little bit of food for thought? Reposting dates. Now, this is more for like short form content because I don't repost a long form video. But let's say you're doing something on Instagram or TikTok, or you want to put out short form content. Don't reinvent the wheel all the time. Did you know that you can recycle your content over time? So here, you just want to keep track of the dates that you're reposting things, especially short form content. And that's going to be something really, really important for you to be able to see how often are you going back to the same piece of content. Does this make sense? Let me know if you have any questions about this system. I just want to quickly jump into the other two pieces of it because this is just a quick preview. Remember, if you want like how to do this, what does your Google Drive look like, all of that stuff, that's coming up in my summit presentation, which if you get on my list, just comment your list below and I will get back to you and I will give you a link unless you want to just go download one of the resources. You'll learn how this all works together and you'll see the other piece of it, which is the Google Drive piece. And then the piece that I just wanted to show you that's in this spreadsheet is the B-roll bank, which I described in a lot of detail in another video, and the story bank, which I also described in detail in another video. And if you go to the other video that I've linked below, you can actually sign up and download these exact spreadsheets so you don't have to recreate them. It doesn't have the Content HQ in it right now, but that is something that's going to be organized later so that you know that you're able to have a content system that is organized, that is going to take the load off of you. Now, let me know if there's anything else you want to know about this. This was just a quick preview, and I know that it's something that a lot of people are going to be excited about. And I'm so, so thrilled that if you're still watching, you're at this point, because it means that you want to be organized, you want to be able to produce more content. And in the next live stream, I'm really excited about showing you this is the piece where you produce the content. But what really moves the needle? Understanding how the content is working for you, right? Because if you don't know what's performing, what's doing well, how do you know what to double down on, what to do, all of that stuff. So if that sounds good to you and you want to know more about that, leave a comment ROI on this video, and I will know that you want me to make another video like this, talking about, okay, now we have the system, but like, how do we know if it's actually going to do something for our business? How do we measure? How do we move forward? How do we strategize? This is something that I go very deep on in my Magnetic on Video Pro program, which is also launching in a few weeks. So if that's something you're interested in as well, if you go to the Work With Me tab on my website, I've got information on that too. So many resources for you to get organized. The biggest thing is this Content HQ. And like I said, start with the Story Bank and the B-roll bank. And that is a big part of just keeping up with this stuff in 2026. I'll leave you with this thought because I think this is really important. I am noticing so much that people are just tired of AI generated stuff. So this is like a golden age for talking head videos as authentic as this. I wasn't perfect in this live stream. I stumbled here and there. I rambled in parts. I mean, you're seeing me raw, right? Is this a kind of format that you like? Do you feel like, okay, I'm not watching a bot. I'm not watching a perfectly polished person. I'm watching a real business owner, a human being who's out there working and trying to build a business just like the rest of you. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to help you with. And it is my pleasure to just support you and answer your questions and help you win, because that's what I want for you. I want you to get a steady stream of leads and clients, grow your business, and make a big difference. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for spending this time with me, whether you join me live or you're watching the replay, and I'll catch you next time.